We continue Fargard 19.34, which is called herein 110. The souls of the righteous are gathered together there. Nairyo Sangha is with them. A friend of Ahura Mazda is Nairyo Sangha. Do thou thyself invoke, O Zarathustra, this world of Ahura Mazda. 114. Zarathustra took those words from Ahura Mazda. I invoke with the holy world made by Ahura Mazda. I invoke with the earth made by Ahura, the water made by Mazda, the holy trees. I invoke with the sea, for Uru Kasha. I invoke with the shining sky. I invoke with the eternal and sovereign luminous space. 120. I invoke with the bright, all-glorious, blissful abode of the holy ones. I invoke with the Garonmanam, the abode of Ahura Mazda, the abode invoking of the Amesha Spentas, the abode of all other holy beings. I invoke with the sovereign place of eternal wheel and the Kinbad bridge made by Mazda. Invoke with, I bring to mind, that sort of thing. That's what that phrase means. It's not that they're worshiping everything that they consider to be good, unless you don't consider the word worship to mean anything other than respect, but that you don't consider, they're not praying to these things, in other words. 123. Well, some generations did, but that's not. I invoke with the good Sa'aka, who looks far and wide. I invoke with the mighty Vashes of the righteous. I invoke with the whole creation of wheel. I invoke Erithragna, made by Ahura, or is the glory made by Mazda. I invoke with Tisturia, the bright and glorious star in the shape of a golden horned bull. Now, Misvana Gatva is another name of the heavenly spaces. It designates heaven as the abode and source of all blessing, of all Saba are Sa'aka. And the weird, the reference to the bull kind of can pertain to that myth that I was talking about of the earth on a whale, on a water, on a rock, on a horn of a bull, on moisture, that sort of thing. The bull here. So what if we're in a system of Sirius and and 127. I invoke with the holy, beneficent Gathas, who rule over the Ratus. I invoke with the Ahuna Vaete Gatha. I invoke with the Usta Vaete Gatha. I invoke with the Spenta Vaenu Gatha. I invoke with the Bohu Kshatra Gatha. I invoke with the Vahisto Iste Gatha. 129. I invoke with the Kar Shvares of Arzahe and Savahe. I invoke with the Kar Shvares of Fradadavshu and Vidadavshu. And Ratus is a word for, the chiefs of creation. They rule over their means and other beings that are Ratus, inasmuch as it is by invoked. I invoke with the Karshvaras of Vauru Bareste and Vauru Zareste. I invoke with the Havanniratha. I invoke with the bright, glorious Ha-et-Tumant. I invoke with the good Ashe. I invoke with the good Kiste. I invoke with the most right Kista. I invoke with the glory of the Aryan regions. I invoke the glory of the bright Yima, the great shepherd. And so Havanniratha is the angel of knowledge, and Kista is as religious knowledge, the light of sovereignty, Havarano, which is if secured by the Aryans, the nobles, makes them rule over their enemies. And the praise of Sra'asha was probably introduced here with the reference to the great part he plays in the fate of the soul after death, and to the performance of the sadis ritual. And one of the people have, there's evidence to say that about 40,000 years ago, anatomically modern human started in this area that we now call the Iranians or the Persians, because I guess the Persian Gulf, everything like that, up to Afghanistan and all that is the one tribe, and the other four became what we call the Hindus. It's not a religious title. It's, and they both agree that, but there was a center land. I don't know, Afghanistan was the center part of it, but there was this central land where the culture sprang from. Now, this is the area where humans started to be able to speak over 200 sounds and making possible all subsequent languages. And some were already possible, but 133. Let him be worshipped with sacrifice. Let him be gladdened, gratified, and satisfied. The holy Sra'asha, the tall-formed, fiend-smiting holy Sra'asha, the archangel of obedience. Bring libations unto the fire. Bring hard wood unto the fire. Bring incense of Bahu Ga'ana into the fire. Or offer the sacrifice. Into the Vazista fire, which smites the fiend Spen Gagra. Bring unto it the cooked meat and offerings of boiling milk. (137) Offer up the sacrifice towards the holy Sra'asha, that the holy Sra'asha may smite down the fiend Kunda, who is drunken without drinking. He will fall upon the man of the Droog, the slothful ones, the wicked, the Abba worshippers who live in sin. Now the word worshippers, in this context, definitely those who hymn, those who sing, those who worship and celebrate. So it's not just, the rituals, it's all of the things. So, there's not the secular holidays and secular songs and stuff like this in the base of the Zoroastrian tradition. This is, and Christianity teaches the same thing. So, 42, I invoke with the Kara fish, who lives beneath the waters, in the bottom of the deep lakes. I invoke with the ancient and sovereign Merezu, the greatest seat of battle in the creation of the two spirits. I invoke the seven bright Srava with their sons and their flocks. And so Zervanism definitely appeared, but we're not really talking about that here, are we? Because the two spirits are created, like the seven kind of mirror each other, and Sra'asha and Aeshma, and getting rumbling the temple. I don't know if you hear all that, but and those who neglect their duties are considered the slothful ones. From the Vendidad Sada, the clause may have belonged to the original the clause about, what's the clause? Oh, I invoke the fish. To the original text, it is preceded by another clause which certainly did not belong to it, and part of which is cited in the commentary, and where it would have been more suitably placed when he's been cleansed in the next inhabited place. He may then sow till the pastured fields as food for the sheep and as food for the ox. And the Kar Mahi is what we're seeing, the fish. Professor Justy says the Milky Way is Marazu, an Iranian representation of the Etic by Frost. There's much probability in that translation. And 3 compromises what's here called 43, 44, 45, 46, and 47. They run about to and fro. Their minds waver to and fro. Engra Ma'inu, the deadly, the Da'eva of the Da'evas. Indra of the Da'eva. Sa'uru, the Da'eva. Na'un Ithya, the Da'eva. Ta'urve and Za'ere. Eshma, the wounding spear. Akatasha, the Da'eva. Sa'urva, baneful to the fathers. Bu'ite, the Da'eva. Drewe, the Da'eva. Da'ewe, the Da'eva. Kasve, the Da'eva. Ba'itisha, the most Da'eva-like among the Da'evas. 140. And he said, the guileful, the evil-doing Da'eva. Angra Ma'inu, the deadly. What let the wicked, evil-doing Da'evas gather together at the head of Arazura. 141. They rush, they run away, the wicked, the evil-doing Da'evas. They run away with shouts, the wicked, evil-doing Da'evas. They run away, casting the evil eye, the wicked, evil-doing Da'evas. Let us gather together at the head of Arazura. 143. For he is just born, the holy Zarathustra, in the house of Po'uru Shaspa. How can we procure his death? He is the stroke that fells the fiends. He is a counter-fiend to the fiends. He is a droog to the droog. Down are the Da'eva worshippers, the Nasu made by the Da'eva, the false-speaking lie. 147. They run away, they rush away. The wicked, evil-doing Da'evas, into the depths of the dark, horrid world of hell. Echem Bahu, holiness is the best of all good. And at the gates of hell, is head of Arazura. And we have the opposition or the counteraction, a personification of the doings of Ahriman and of his marring power. And we have the entity of lying mentioned, an entity of poverty and old age. And so old age would be Za'urva